Alright, let's dive back into twin power. We're picking up with Maya and Alec, those twin heroes, remember?
Oh yeah, they just had that super close call with the Grekoin.
Talk about an escape. But now they're crash landed on Earth trying to figure out what to do next. With Ada, of course.
It's been a wild ride for them so far, hasn't it?
Seriously. Escaping their planet as it's being destroyed, going through that crazy wormhole, and then crash landing here.
I don't think they've had a moment to catch their breath.
Out of the frying pan,
Yeah.
into the fire raid. And they're galactic heroes. You'd think they'd at least land somewhere.
You deal with it.
More exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Earth does have its own, charm, I guess you could say, even if it's a little behind technologically compared to their home planet.
True. It is interesting to see them adapt to these, well,
Primitive conditions.
primitive is right. Do you see that scene with the bear stealing their food?
Oh, yeah.
These are the twins who took down a whole Grekoin mothership, and now they're getting outsmarted by a bear. It's a good reminder that no matter how powerful you are, you still have to answer to Mother Nature, I guess. And they're teenagers.
Right.
Even galactic heroes have their weaknesses.
It's true. But they're pretty resourceful, though. Instead of going after the bear, they decide to head to town to get supplies.
Yeah, that was smart.
They're not letting this stop them.
Not at all. They're thinking strategically, keeping your eyes on the prize, repair that ship, keep fighting the Grekoin. A bear is just a bump in the road.
I like that they're so practical. They could easily just gone all superhero on that bear, but they chose the smarter option. Makes me wonder, how would you handle a crisis like that?
Me? I'd be cool as a cucumber, totally composed, but secretly hoping you'd be there to sweep in and save the day.
I guess it depends on how charming you are.
Oh, I can be very charming.
We'll see about that. But for now, back to the twins. They come across a farmhouse on their way to town. Pretty classic, right?
You just know something's gonna happen.
Exactly. And that locked door. It's like a perfect symbol for how tough it is for them to be strangers on Earth.
They can't just blast their way in like they might on a Grekoin ship.
It's like they suddenly landed in a world with totally different rules.
And the rules are definitely not in their favor.
Nope. They find a barn full of food and clothes, though. Yeah, convenient? Maybe a little too convenient.
A little. But it's not theirs, is it?
It is not. So now what do? They need to survive. But is it okay to just take things?
It's a tough one. It's that classic battle between what you need to do and what's right. They're heroes, sure, but they're in a real fight for their survival here.
And you can't save the galaxy on an empty stomach.
Yeah, you can't. Maybe we should take a break from this deep dive and
explore some of those culinary options you mentioned.
I was thinking the same thing.
Tempting. But we've got a deep dive to finish. And our listeners are on the edge of their seats, I bet.
Okay, you're right. Work first, snacks later.
But stay tuned, because next time we'll be looking at those cultural challenges they're facing and what it all means for Earth.
They hunt us down, fierce Grekoin mind. Battles are refuge in line.
So the twins are in a tough spot. A real ethical dilemma, right? Makes you think about how other cultures might see things.
Yeah, it's easy to judge them from our perspective here on Earth, but maybe where they come from, private property isn't even a thing.
Exactly. Imagine a society where it's all about sharing, or where survival comes before anything else. They must be so confused to land in a place where people are so possessive, yeah.
It's almost like they travel back in time to when society wasn't as developed. I bet that's more of a challenge than facing the Grekoin.
Oh, definitely. And that feeling of being out of place could lead to all sorts of problems. Imagine trying to explain why you need to borrow spaceship parts.
To get back home after escaping an alien invasion.
I know, right?
They'd probably be on some kind of intergalactic watch list.
Totally. Their technology alone could freak people out. Imagine the headlines. Alien teenagers invade local farm.
Okay, stop. That's hilarious. But seriously, it shows how much pressure they're under.
Yeah.
They need to blend in, fix their ship, and not become like the next big viral sensation.
All while dealing with a whole new set of rules and, limited technology. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, or at least a very interesting deep dive.
You always know how to make things sound exciting. But the sources mentioned that their ship needs a type of energy that isn't found on Earth. How are they going to deal with that?
Now that is the question. They're going to have to think outside the box. Remember how resourceful they were escaping the Grekoin mothership?
Yeah.
They're going to need that ingenuity again.
Well, maybe Ada can help. She's this super advanced AI. She must be able to figure something out.
I'd love to get inside her head, wouldn't you? Imagine what we could learn about their tech, their culture, maybe even their music.
And now you're just teasing. But what if Ada could actually connect with Earth's technology? Could she hack into something to get information? Or maybe even find a way to make that energy they need?
Ooh, interesting. It's definitely possible, and I'm sure the writers will explore that. It would make things even more complex.
Okay, so we've got culture clashes, tech problems, and we can't forget about the Grekoin. They're still out there. And who knows if they can track the twins to Earth?
That's the big scary question, isn't it? Could Earth get caught in the middle of an intergalactic war? Imagine if those Grekoin actually came here. What if they like Earth food?
You and your food. But it's a good point. The fate of Earth could be in the hands of these two teenagers.
No pressure, right? But jokes aside, it makes us think, how would we react to a threat like that? Would we come together or fall apart?
Big questions. Maybe for another deep dive. For now, though, we've got more to cover.
We do. In the last part, we'll look at what might happen because of their arrival, the choices they make, and maybe even a big showdown. So stay with us.
Sacrifice goals, a selfless choice, a sacred sign.
Okay, we're back. Final part of our twin power deep dive. We've seen Maya and Alec go up against bears, figure out Earth customs, and deal with some pretty tough choices. What's next?
Well, now we gotta look at the bigger picture. Their being on Earth. It's not just their own adventure anymore. This could have huge consequences for everyone.
Okay, like what kind of consequences?
Think about it. They have tech that's way beyond anything we have here. Their ship, their weapons, AI, it could change everything for human science. But
There's always a but.
right. It could also be really dangerous if it gets into the wrong hands. It's that classic sci-fi question, right? Does alien tech help us or hurt us?
Well, good point. And then there's the Grekoin. What if they follow the twins through the wormhole? We could be talking alien invasion here.
Exactly. A war on our doorstep.
Things just got a lot more serious. But wouldn't the twins warn us? I mean, they're heroes.
You'd hope so, right? But even if they did, would anyone believe them? 2 teenagers and a talking AI. And could we even defend ourselves against the Grekoin?
Okay, so we've got first contact, possible alien invasion, and 2 teenagers trying to stay hidden and fix their spaceship. It's a lot.
It is. And that pressure is going to force them to grow up fast, make some really tough decisions. Do they reveal themselves and risk causing mass panic? Or stay hidden and risk the whole planet?
That's what makes this so interesting, right? It's like real world problems, but bigger.
Right.
Responsibility, choices, the consequences of technology.
Definitely. And remember, Maya and Alec have been through a lot. They lost their home, their family, everything. How will they cope with that?
Will they be the heroes they're supposed to be, or will they fall apart?
Yeah, it's a psychological journey too. Earth is like a test for them. They're not just trying to survive, they're trying to figure out who they are now.
You're right. This isn't just an adventure story. It's about what it means to be human. Even if you're not from Earth, it makes you think about your own values, your place in the universe. I'm kind of blown away by how much is packed into this. But before we go, one last question for you and for our listeners.
Hit me with it.
If you were in charge here on Earth, what would you do about the twins and the whole Grekoin situation? Would you believe them? How would you get ready for something like this?
Whoa, that's a big one. It really makes you think about how we deal with the unknown and the choices we have to make when something so much bigger than us comes along.
That's the point, right? And that's where we leave it for today. We've talked about the crash landing, the tough decisions, the culture shock, and how all of this could affect Earth. But this is just the start for the twins.
It is. And as the story continues, keep those questions in mind. What choices do they make? How does humanity react? What's the balance between fear and hope?
And tell us what you think. Share your theories, what you think will happen, and your own answers to those questions. We want to hear it all in the comments. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those big questions, and keep diving deep.
We rise above the